by doing yoga or by exercising. Now, there are certain benefits of yoga for menstruation. Yoga plays a significant role in regulating our monthly cycle. It helps balance our emotions such as irritability, mood swings, depression, anxiety, anger. Yoga also relieves symptoms of bloating, heavy bleeding, PMS. Obesity can also be reduced by following yoga, as it um, as it as it balances the hormones, and yoga also helps in relieving menstrual cramps and discomfort. Now, I would like to Paneet to take it forward and introduce ma'am so that the session can begin.
Okay, thank you, Shweta, for such thoughtful and informative words. Okay, so we have collaborated with a very special guest instructor. She is Mrs. Megha Trihanjagi, who is a corporate trainer, coach, and a sound healer. She's a mother of two who took to yoga as a part of her weight loss regime. Little did she know that she would end up becoming a teacher herself. She has her own studio in Delhi named Wellness Cocoon by Megha. She's also passionate about pre and postnatal yoga. Over to Megha ma'am for our session.
Thank you, Pani. Good evening, everybody. And thanks so much for having me here and giving me this opportunity to be a part and be able to serve and, do whatever inputs I can from my experience and my knowledge, just to bring in my inputs in front of all of you. This is, well, of course, a very, very important, I can say, this is kind of a buzzing topic these days, menstrual health, menstrual hygiene, and why it is because as Pani just told you in the introduction, I have been running my studio in Delhi, in West Delhi, since about 5 years. And every now and then, the PCOD, girls having PCOS is just gradually increasing every year, which I have been observing. Sadly, the ratio is just getting bigger and bigger. So, that's something which I would, of course, like to mention again, that that already has been told by Shweta, that yes, how yoga is going to help for your tackling your menstruation issues. But first and foremost, we need to understand that what is causing a delay in menstruation, what is not giving, why your monthly cycle is irregular. And we know that an irregular monthly cycle, I'm sure so many of us would have experienced that, our irregular monthly cycle will be affecting our overall different aspects of our life, right? So there's so many factors, but there are so many surveys as well which say that maybe about 30% of women, they have irregular periods, and 1 out of 10 women now, they are, earlier it was 20, now it is getting to 10. So one out of 10 females are getting PCOS, PCOD, like that. That is polycystic ovary syndrome, polycystic ovary disease. Gradually, when it is untreated, so syndrome develops into a disease. So, just giving in a nutshell, polycystic ovary syndrome is when there is your ovaries, they have certain cysts which is blocking your regular monthly cycle, right? And the cause, I can say, if I just give you in simplest terms, you could say the causes are too much of sugar intake in form of not refined sugar, but in form of too much of junk food. And this is what I've been observing with my observation over the years. Um, because this is what I've been observing the girls are actually getting into. So it's very important for females to come to a good nutritional diet, which is high in iron level, like having dark green leafy vegetables, and also so many good spices that our Indian cuisine has. Even spices like cinnamon, ginger, they help you so much, right? But it's taking, sadly, it has been observed that it's more like junk food is ruling. Sugar intakes are rising. The second S will be stress. The stress factor is increasing. The stress, okay, the Wi-Fi is gone, there's a good amount of stress. Okay, maybe your phone's battery is gone, there's a good amount of stress. Then this is typically for students and girls. Okay, so stress and competition. Of course, there's cutthroat competition around, which is causing so much of stress. So we need to learn. We cannot we cannot decrease the level of stress around, but we can surely learn how to handle stress. If you're handling stress, cutting down on the refined sugar and the junk, and the third one is exercise. If you're bringing that exercise level in your routine, then definitely the PCOD symptoms you would see they are going off pretty early. As soon as they come so early, they're coming so early, they can even be, trust me, they can even be wiped off from your body, and they are totally reversible through yoga. So the purpose of the session, of course, will be just guiding you what all we can do to regulate our monthly cycle, right? And one important thing, as I just said, exercise. I would just like to add a third S here. First S was stress. The second S was sugar. Okay, this will help you maybe because of our job. Then we need to understand that there is a lot of muscle atrophy. If I just refer, there was also a study in 2013 that it was done on about 126 people, which showed that when they were practicing yoga for about 5 days a week and for consecutive 6 months, it showed that so many of them had cancelled out the hormone which was coming to was bringing irregularity in their periods, right? So we all know when the month we do not have the period, if we then how that feels. It is just like more of bloating, more of frustration, anger, and you feel like you've gained lots and lots of kilos on you. Yes. So very simply putting, there are so many exercises which can be done, and they are a short answer, because as I just said, I've been training down years, and I've seen literally people telling me that, oh, I never expected that I will get my monthly cycle so painless and so quickly back, and it has become a cycle. And I really haven't really done much. I've just guided them, and they have practiced yoga regularly, and that has helped them, right? So let me just talk about a few postures, what all will help you. We have already spoken about good, good amount of sleep is also very important. Your exercise level is important. De-stressing through simple yoga nidra or meditations. There's so many meditations which are there, short meditations, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, which are available on YouTube. Apart from that, there are again, I can say distressing, I can say focusing on your breath work is also very important. How you breathe, doing pranayamas like Kapalbhati and Anulom Vilom, they will also bring your hormonal balance. Okay, so I'll just quickly give the demonstrations for few important things, because we have a set timing to adhere to, and then and there are lots and lots of postures, but I'll just give you few important ones what you could practice. Okay, so if you want, anybody, you can even make notes, or however, if you think that's gonna help you. Okay, so first and foremost, we want to avoid during menstruation, that I'll come later. Okay, during your monthly cycle also, there are so many things which you can practice. It's not so that you cannot practice during your monthly cycle. You can practice many things, barring few things, but there's so much that you can practice during your monthly cycle. At the same time, I would rather suggest, there's so many things which help to reduce the cramping and the bloating when you're practicing during your monthly cycle. Okay, and that's my own personal experience, that with regular practice, well, I'm associated with yoga for about 14 years now, and with my own personal practice, I have observed that the periods become very pain free. totally, they are not really so much causing you so much of pain. That's the biggest change which I had noticed. And of course, if they become regular, right? Okay, so we're talking about few things which will bring you regularizing your periods. First one is Kapalbhati. That's a breathing technique. Put that in the chat box so we can come up with the questions. So first is Kapalbhati. So inhale, exhale. You have to just keep on exhaling, and the navel and your belly will go, right? So rather just focus on exhaling. No active inhalation you have to do, right? Do not inhale, not needed. It's just needed is just keep on exhaling, right? So I'll just give you a demonstration for 5 counts. Is Bhati. Kapal means skull, Bhati means the nervous system, and it would rather stimulate the pituitary gland, which is master gland. It stimulates so much. It is responsible for balancing so many of your hormones. And as we just discussed, hormonal imbalance is the biggest reason for irregular monthly cycle. So, any question? Yeah, please.
That sounds silly.
Okay, so Pulvika, please mute yourself. All right. So, well, along from that, apart from that, all of the postures which I'm going to tell you are going to, regenerate your reproductive organs. They get stimulated, then it will reduce a lot of stress in your body. They will regulate your BMR. Okay, they will regulate your metabolism, and at the same time, it will balance. As I just said, it will balance your hormones. Right? So one we did was a breathing practice, which is called Kapalbhati. But remember, if you are going through a monthly cycle, during those days we will not practice Kapalbhati. We will just practice Anulom Vilom. Okay, so anything which is putting a lot of pressure on the belly, and also topsy-turvy postures, which are going to take the Apan Vayu downward. Okay, so topsy-turvy means inversions. We will not practice. Apart from that, you could just practice. So, the book, please can you use? Okay. So, at times, there are if someone is on over medications due to any reason, they also experience irregular monthly cycle. If there's a lot of low body weight.
ठीक है.
Sorry. So if you're having a low body weight at times, which is really low, than your average body weight, then you might also have irregular periods. Plus, of course, I said hormonal imbalances and too much of exercise. If someone is kind of into an anorexic mode and exercising too much, they might even end up having a irregular monthly cycle, apart from the PCOS and PCOD stuff, right? So, yeah, coming to what all we are going to do. Few things. One, Kapalbhati, as I demonstrated. Second one is Anulom Vilom, alternate nostril breathing. We need to first understand that are we breathing in the correct manner or not. Whenever we are inhaling, the belly is moving out, and whenever we are exhaling, the belly moves in. Okay. So I guess remember Parneet. You remember Parneet has been a very fine student of mine. So whenever you inhale, the belly, let me repeat it. Whenever you're inhaling, the belly is moving out. Whenever you're exhaling, the belly is moving in. Remember, if you're doing a paradoxical breathing, then it will impact your entire system. Yes? Yeah, sure. You could just put your questions in the chat box. That's gonna be good. Right. So this was about correct breathing. Very important. Correction of your posture. Very important. Important to sit straight, because otherwise you will lose on the core strength. Okay, core is not only the belly, everything down here, right from your glutes, your spine, everything, your lower back is all your core. If you lose on the core strength, then definitely because of sitting, prolonged sitting, then it might end up showing up on your monthly cycle. And if you have less walking, wrong dietary habits are there, then of course it will show up more quickly, right? So Anulom Vilom is placing the right thumb on the right nostril. Yes, Prabjot, I have a question here that is it fine to do yoga while menstruating? Yes, I'm just going to tell you what all not to do. Apart from that, there's so many things which will rather help you. They will help to release the cramps and the bloating out of your body. Okay, so if you are someone who has yeah, Shriji, I'll come to that. Yeah, I'll come to your question. So if you are one of those who has a lot of period pain, then you can surely take these relaxing postures, which I'm going to tell you. So I was talking about Anulom Vilom. Inhale from your left, close it, exhale from your right. Again, from right, inhale, close it, exhale from your left. So I started the cycle from my left. Just inhale left, exhale right, exhale left. So this is your one cycle. Okay, so we can do at least 10 cycles of Anulom Vilom daily. Okay, so as I said, try aiming for a 5-day practice. Even if you practice for about half an hour, that is good. Instead of just practicing about 2 days in a week and practicing for 2 hours, that's not going to be good. Okay, so consistency is the key. Regularity will give you very, very quick results. Okay, just 1 month of regular practice will show you very quick result. Okay, all right. So the next one you could take is a mountain pose. So these were the pranayamas which help to regulate your monthly cycle. Kapalabhati, Anulom Vilom. Then come taking very simple postures. So very doable. One is camel pose. Camel pose is a backward bend. Yes, so coming on my, I hope everyone can see me. Yeah, okay. So coming on my knees like this, but sitting upright straight. This is a Vajrasana. Okay, sitting straight with your spine straight, very important. Next, you can sit in a Malasana. Yeah. Okay, so this is a Mal Asana. I hope I'm clearly visible to everyone. Yeah. So this is a Malasana. So you can practice sitting like this. So this is not only going to improve your gut health, but this is also very, very good to open up the tightness in your hip. And when your hip tightness is released, then definitely your lower back will be benefited. The lower back pains go off. So everything is connected. If you're sitting too much, make sure that you sit in a Malasana. Right? Okay. So the third one we could take is Dhanurasana. I'm going to the belly, right? So the Dhanurasana is a bow pose. Here I am going to just hold my toes one by one and inhale, lift them up. Okay. So if you observe, we are stimulating the Manipura chakra and the Swadhisthana chakra, okay, which are responsible for good reproductive system, right? So this was a simple pulling the thighs up. This was a Dhanurasana or a bow arrow pose, bow pose. So well, this is your Swadhisthana chakra, Swadhisthana. So the Manipura and the Swadhisthana here. Okay, and the base is the Muladhara. So well, I don't want to go into chakras because otherwise it will just go on extending. So what we need to understand is here we are stimulating the chakras and we are making the energy rise more upward. Then automatically the organs the reproductive organs and the digestive organs, they are definitely going to work better, right? So the next one can be again lying down. It can be a Bhujangasana or a cobra pose. So I'm talking here about a passive cobra. There are two cobras that we do. So the first one is like this, with your hands up. Your toes should be flat from the back and your hands are up. So now I am all on my spine. I am all on my spine. So here you can hold. Excellent for bringing strength in your spine as well. You can hold for 30 seconds, even to 1 minute, if you feel that your spine is lacking in strength. All right, but this will also help in regulating your cycle. Next one is the active one, where your hands are straight. Okay, so now this one is for more flexibility. Now open your chest and push the shoulders back, and your toes are flat from the back and down. Right, so this one is again a Bhujangasana, but this one is an active Bhujangasana or an active cobra. Again, this is going to work on the Swadhisthana, and it will relax your back as well. It will make it more flexible. Okay, so well, the list is long, but I'll just take important ones and a handful ones. So, and also those which everyone can practice. Simple postures, nothing complex. Apart from that, you can go for a backward bending, a camel pose, Ustrasana. So here you can just tuck your toes in, tucking your toes in, right, this way, and now pushing the pelvic forward and just falling back. For beginners, if this is way you're not able to touch your toes, then maybe you can touch your calves. If not even your calves, then you can place your hands here at the back of your thigh. Just open your chest, push your shoulders back, and give yourself a chest opening. So this will be a back bending posture, right? So this is called a camel or a Ustrasana. Also, many postures, I would say, because since we are talking about the therapy issue, so now this is needing therapy. So this is needing your yoga therapy. So for therapy, I would always suggest stay as long as possible. So if you're a beginner, you could start basic from counting for 10 seconds, then gradually rise up to 30 seconds and just keep on rising. Okay, from 30 seconds to 1 minute. Even if you go for 1 minute of these postures, keep on holding. They start acting on the glands of your body. They start opening up the chakras, the blockages, and they start working very quickly, right? But the holding time should be increased, right? So next one that I would take is Setubandh. So a Setubandh is a bridge pose. Now lying down on the spine and just lifting your pelvic as you exhale. Just lift the pelvic up. Now just tuck the hip in and pull the belly in so that there is core stability, and you can stay here for as long as possible. Right? Extremely beneficial for regulating the cycles, also for strengthening your spine. So this was a bridge pose or a Setubandhasana.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, we're running short on time. We have only 7 minutes left. So,
okay.
If we
all right. So, all right, sure. Okay, so another one will be, I'll just quickly tell you so that we do not lose more time. So you can just lie down right like that on the wall, with the wall at your back or with the bed at your back. Okay. So this is getting all the blood flow downward. This is called the breathe curly. And from here, you can slowly go up, support yourself for a Sarvamavasana, shoulder stand. These are inversions. And from here, just going back to a Hal Asana. So this entire sequence is really helpful. Is really helpful for your for your monthly cycle to be regulated. But if you are a beginner, please practice under someone's supervision, and you can progress step by step. I had just given you demonstrations, but they have techniques. They have, so I would suggest you to practice step by step and practice under a certified instructor, right? So, well, coming to what not to do, these you will not do during your monthly cycle. You will not do anything which is putting pressure. For example, crunches, for example, boat. This is a boat pose. You can avoid this during your cycle. Kapalbhati can be avoided. Inversions like a handstand or headstand can be avoided during your monthly cycle. Okay, and at the same time, just wanted to mention a few things that since during the period that there was a question asked, what all you could do during the periods? You can just take a couple of cushions. You could take a couple of cushions to relax yourself and just come to a butterfly. So this is a butterfly. The Setu Bandha, which we just did, you can do. You can still do camel. You can do 3 postures which are very, very helpful. Okay, during your monthly cycle. One is a Paschimottanasana, stretching like this, exhaling, keeping your spine straight, coming up, touching your toes. Toes are in. So here, this is extremely beneficial. You can do this during your periods, right? Okay. So the next one that you could do is recline butterfly. So like this, come in a butterfly, and you can place cushions beneath your back and just lie down. Just relax. This will release the tightness of the muscles of the lower body, and it will help you to get less of cramping, right? And the last one is a Suktavir. So for a Suktavir asana, coming in a Vajrasana, and you can put pillows or cushions at the back and just go down like this comfortably. So this was a Suktavir asana. Okay. So thank you, Prachi. So these are a few things what you can avoid, and what all you need to do. And still, if someone wants to know, okay, what all we can do apart from yoga, then maybe if you do a lot of crunches, you do squat jogs, you do squattings, then definitely your monthly cycle becomes regular. Apart from yoga, I'm talking about functional exercises. Yes, crunches, squat jogs, and squattings. Okay, so thank you. If you have any more questions?
So before that, Shweta would like to introduce the owner of the NGO. Over to Shweta.
Thank you, Parneet. I would like to introduce Swati Bedikar, ma'am. She is the owner of the Vatsalya Foundation in Vadodara. Under her, we started, working and, getting enthusiastic about menstruation and working towards it. So, yeah. Now, I would like to hand over the. Hello?
I would like, Shweta, can I say
Yeah.
something?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Though I am a founder of Vatsalya Foundation, it's not one person's organization. It's our organization. Sangeeta and yourself are very much a part of it, and all these lovely girls who are with us today. And congratulations to all of you, and particularly to Madam Megha Jaggi. I mean, she did a wonderful session, and thank you so very much. All the girls are going to be ever grateful to you. Let's hope in future also we are able to work further and do much more with it. Thank you. Carry on.
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much,
It was
ma'am.
indeed my pleasure to be able to connect with you. Thank you for this, Parneet.
Thank you, Megha, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. So with this, we come to the end of our session. And so I would like to I, Sneha, with my fellow coordinators, Shweta, Prachi, and Parneet, and all the attendees here would like to thank Megha ma'am and also Swati ma'am for taking out time and attending our this session, enriching session. Also, I would thank all my participants for their enthusiastic participation and for their support to us. So let's All of you stay happy and stay healthy. With this, we come to the end of our session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much,
everybody.
ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you.